Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. So, I am a mentor for someone at work, and this person is trying to up their skills as a developer. And this last week, they actually challenged me and they said, which one of us can get to our MVP for our projects faster? And I actually hadn't started on a project yet, and that's probably a good thing because Yieldmax threw us a curveball last week. And with personal projects and businesses, the best type are the ones that you're actually experiencing a pain point, a problem with. So, my problem with the Yieldmax and them switching all of their single stock cover calls to being various times throughout the month is that it is actually going to change my strategy. And I needed to go through my investing contract that I made for myself anyways because I wasn't following it. And now the strategy is going to change. So I really do need to record for myself just so that I don't get lost in, different spirals, and just make sure that I'm organized and have thought through everything because with investing, you should be, at least my opinion, is that doing a bunch of upfront research and being comfortable and understanding what you are investing in will help with when the market crashes. And if you've done your research and you're comfortable with what you've done, you'll have faith that, it'll recover and you'll be fine in the long term. So, what is my pain point? My pain point is when I go to evaluate high income ETFs, these cover call strategies, there are 83 of them right now, okay? And there's only going to be more. Like, this does not include, Roundhill announced that they filed with the SEC having their single stock weeklies, and Granite shares filed for Yield Boost. So there's only going to be more because these are very popular. So my problem is trying to sift through these so that I can have a starting point in order to evaluate them. So before I started my project, I actually made a bit of a wireframe, and these are my thoughts on this. What I want to do is I want to say, like, if I put $500 in each of these ETFs, which one, like, what would my distribution have been if based off of the closing price before the last X date? And I know that is not like the end all be all because sometimes things have really high distributions, but the price goes down over time. And so it's not as good of an investment as if you went into something with less distribution right now, but the stock appreciates. So the stock that you bought today is going to work harder for you tomorrow. But it is, to me, a starting point just to have everything on the same page with the same information, and just as a way to start evaluating. And then I want to be able to click into it and say, like, this is Yieldmax, this is the name of it, this was the closing price, this is the latest distribution, these are the amount of shares that you would get from $500, and this is what your new distribution would be. Just like more information, maybe some links to resources, whatever. So this is what I've made so far. If, say, I want to do $500 into each of these, what would the distribution be like? So QDTE, out of all the weeklies right now, will have the most. And then Yieldmax and YMAG are sandwiched between that and XDTE. Our DTE will get adjusted next week and we will know where it lands in the weeklies. But for me, even though it says that XDT, well, like this is number one if I'm looking for the most distribution right now. But we all know XDTE is probably a long-term strategy. So we'll get back to that. So it's looking right now like Tesla and Crash are the best bets in week one, unless I want to go 100% into crypto, and in that case it would be Bybit. Week one has a bunch of Yieldmax, but there are 2 Goldman Sachs ones in here as well. Week 2 is obviously Nvidia. The rest of them are all Yieldmax as well. Week 3 we have, well, I think PyPy was an outlier this last time, but basically Coney and Fiat are the winners over here, with AMD hanging out between that and Ulti. And then there are more non-Yieldmax funds that are not quite, there's like a shelf here where it's like Yieldmax is over $10, and then all the rest of these are at less than $10, which doesn't make these worse funds. It just means that we have to do further research onto, like, is the price appreciating for this? Because if, Ulti is going down, it doesn't matter if I can get more distributions this month. If I get less, if I get half this month, and then in 6 months, this per share, I'm actually getting $35, it's fine. Anyways, week 4, no surprise, it is Misty, is the champion. But here we also have ProShares and a Defiance up here in the midst of all of, and also Round Hill. So in week 4, we have more options available to us with things that are giving us about the same amount of yield for about the same amount of money. So I love AMZY. I like Amazon, but IWMY is on an actual index on the Russell 2000, so take that for what it is. And it's nice that they're about the same amount of money, so I could be in both and pool the distributions and put 50-50 back. So I did AIPI and then accidentally got out of it. SpyT I like, SVOL I like, Jeppy I like, even though it's Jeppy. One thing, well, the details don't work yet. I am going to get that before I publish it. And the other thing I want to do, besides cleaning up some of the formatting, is in my wireframe I had a filter. And the one thing I do want to filter is the index that these high-income ETFs are in. Because I'm pretty sure, and now that I've seen this, my personal strategy that I'm going to try out for until the end of the year is XDTE and the S&P 500 are going to be their own wheel. So that'll be 5 funds that are on their own. And then QDTE, YMAX, and RDTE will be a part of the same wheel. And I will pick, week 1 is a little bit weird because I don't particularly want to be in Crash or Tesla. So I'll probably pick some things from the 4th week and pretend it's the 1st week. But for the most part, what I want to do is say, like, on average, if I put in $500, I will get about $30 in dividends. So I will put $30, I'll pay $30 forward into the next fund for the next week. And in that way, this $30 will get distributions on it 8 times this month. So or at least 4 times this month. And 4 times, like your money compounding 4 times is more than it compounding once. But again, Misty is over here somewhere. Misty, that other $18 I want to put back into Misty because Misty is going to get me to $3,000 the quickest. And the reason why I would consider just branching off the S&P 500 is that I understand that XDTE will give me less money right now. However, since it is less volatile, it will help stabilize my fund the next time that it decides to have a small dip that looks like a big dip. So it's for diversification, and it's not always about like exactly how do I get the actual most money. Sometimes you have to put in the hedge and the diversification in order to not totally lose all of your money. So I think having those weeklies pulled together and then picking like 1 or 2 of these weekly really high income ETFs to get, that $30 from the 500, or I'm getting like from 800, get the $50 a month, like paid forward. I think that this will help me figure out what I am reinvesting right away into that particular fund and how much I'm paying forward into the next week for the next fund. So let me know if you would find this to be helpful, because once I get this MVP up, I will probably be publishing it pretty soon. Let me know what other features you would like. I know for myself, I'll probably put some links to resources in the modal, like to Total Real Returns and testful.io, just so that I do know that this is just like one small aspect of how I should be investing. But for me, like, this visualization has been useful, but everybody uses tools in different ways and gets different value out of things. So anyway, if you like content like this, please like and subscribe and let me know what you are feeling, and I will talk to you later. Bye.